Hey everyone, welcome back to the Chopper Fit channel. We are in the garage because it's too hot to ride. No, it's not really too hot to ride. I just don't have time to ride today. But I did at least want to put together a video for 5 reasons I think that the Harley Davidson, Panamerica, and Sportster S have laid the groundwork to save Harley. I'm not saying they actually are going to, but why they have laid the groundwork for it. Let's roll that intro and we'll get into it. Roll it! So as we all know, the Panamerica has been out for a few months already and the Sportster S is coming out here within the next month or so. These motorcycles are laying the groundwork for saving Harley Davidson. And I want to explain how I think that's the case, because on the surface, I don't think they have enough to save it on its own right, but I do think they have enough to kind of put the technology in place to actually save Harley Davidson and have them grow and continue to grow. I mean, lately they've been growing like crazy, it seems like. So I think this is just adding even more fuel to that fire. So how is this going to help Harley Davidson in the long run? Well, for example, you are bringing in a new customer base. Let's be real, the Panamerica is extremely awesome, and you are bringing in adventure riders. That's an easy one. That's easy to see that that's the case. But a lot of people are saying, for the Sportster S, that's not my kind of Sportster. I don't like that Sportster. Well, guess what? The bike's, I don't really think, aimed at you exactly. The Sportster that you have grown to accustomed to has been around for 35 years, and guess what? You'll always be able to find a Sportster just like that. There really hasn't been much improvement. The Sportster S, while it could have been named something differently, I do agree with you on that. It is a good motorcycle, at least on paper anyway. The reviews have been really good about it as well. The thing about it is it's going to start bringing in some of the other competition as well. It's going to start bringing in the Indian FTRS competition. It's going to start bringing in, on the extreme size, Ducati Diavolo. It might make that person thinking, ooh, yeah, I like Honda Rebel, but I can get myself a Harley that's a little bit better now. It's bringing in all those other different customer bases to Harley Davidson. And whether or not they actually buy a Harley Davidson or not, who knows? I mean, the price could be high, it could be not what they're looking for. There could be a lot of things that actually go against Harley Davidson on it, but they're making you excited, or at least they're making me excited anyway, that they are trying new things to bring in new bases. I'm at the top edge of a millennial. I'm pretty much Gen X or whatever, but I am technically a millennial, and I think this is great for the younger demographics. That kind of brings me into my next point though, is with the younger demographics, we all want that liquid cooling. But at the same time, I do understand why people love their Harley Davidsons. They love Harley Davidson for the sound. I mean, there's nothing better than that potato, potato, potato sound. But let's be real, we haven't had potato, potato, potato since the day of carbureted motorcycles. Just isn't a thing. And let's be fair, the 88 twin cam, 96 twin cam were probably as close to a fuel injected bike that sounded like a Harley as you're going to find. And then we have the Milwaukee 8s, which, don't shoot me on this, they sound like sewing machines from the factory. So does the Panamerica. Throw a set of pipes on and lo and behold, they do have a very unique sound. But that's the thing, it's a unique sound, but it's not the Harley traditional sound, which is okay, But anytime a new engine is introduced into Harley Davidson's repertoire, people always scoff at it. I remember when the Milwaukee 8 first came out, people said, Harley's dead.
You're dead to me, boy.
Harley's dead, nope, ain't gonna like it. And then the Milwaukee 8 has been basically proven everybody wrong. Now I think what they could end up doing is taking the base of the Milwaukee 8 platform and maybe figuring out a way, because right now it's oil cooled, figuring out a way to liquid cool that thing. Because just if you think about it, how awesome would it be to have a big, beefy twin cam motorcycle that's liquid cooled? You can push the power up, you can do a lot of exciting things with it. I think that's what the world is needing, is they don't want to lose that grunt in favor of a high revving type motorcycle. And I get that, I really do. So I think there could be a common ground where you could have the best of both worlds. Harley Davidson is also starting to push new technology, which for a long time they weren't doing. But now you're getting some really good navigation, you're getting traction control, wheelie control, you're getting ride modes in the new Sportster. Those are all things that if you can adapt it and make it good in one motorcycle, you can put it in all your others. Especially if you start putting out motorcycles with 140, 150 horsepower, you're going to want some sort of traction or stability control or ride modes on those baggers, because let's face it, I don't want to ride in the rain with 150 horsepower at the flick of a wrist. I do want to be able to dial it down with a push of a button. The technology is just really, I think, coming along, and it started with the Livewire, and what they did wrong with the Livewire was they just simply overpriced it. If you were to look at the Livewire now that it doesn't have that HD branded logo, it's a little bit slower, a little less range, but the price is also $9,000 cheaper. As you develop technology and make it better and better, it gets cheaper and cheaper, and that's the cycle that needs to happen. And that's not to say that our baggers are ever going to lower in price if we go to a liquid cooled technology, but your engine might last longer, less warranty work. There's a lot of good things going when you start adding this technology, as long as you perfect it first. Now the next thing, whether you like to admit it or not, and even if you hate the Sportster S and you hate the Panamerica and you formed an opinion, guess what? Harley Davidson did their job. They're making you think about those two motorcycles. Even if you have absolutely zero interest in buying them, you formulate an opinion based off what you saw, based off what you heard. And honestly, that's all it's going to take, because if they figure they can get, let's just say 100 new people that have never seen a Harley Davidson in this facet, if they can get a percentage of that just to come in, that's a percentage they didn't have before. Get them in the door, they buy your Sportster S, and then lo and behold, a couple years later, like, hey, I want something that can kind of go some distance. You can sell them a bagger, you can sell them other things. There's so many possibilities when you start bringing in those outside customers. The release for these two motorcycles as well has generated much more buzz than the CVO announcement from earlier this year with the launch. For me, I don't think I have an interest really in buying a Panamerica style bike. I would love to ride a Sportster S just to see what it's like. But for me, they're still higher than I would want to spend on a new motorcycle given where I'm at in life. Now for most people, that's run-of-the-mill money, but for me, I like to buy cheap used motorcycles so I can have a plethora of them. So the last point I want to say is about laying that base work for Harley Davidson for the future. So with the 1250cc Revolution Max motor, we do know that most likely there's also going to be two new base model Sportsters. Will it have this Revolution Max motor? Probably not. It might have some version of it or a similar liquid cooled version like the 975 from the Bronx. And that's another bike that could be coming back around, which is a Street Fighter type motorcycle. Oh, that's the bike. When they canceled it, it still gives me heartburn to this day thinking, oh, we could have had it. We could have had it. We could have had it. But I do believe Harley Davidson is on the right track. They are putting out high horsepower, lightweight machines. And when you can start combining those two pieces together, you're going to start getting the people from Ducati, Kawasaki, and those other brands who want to go fast.
I want to go fast.
But they never associated themselves with Harley Davidson because they thought Harley Davidson is old and slow. And till now, really, that's really what they have become. But now they are starting to change, and they're going to start catching the eye of a lot of different people. So while these two new motorcycles, again, are not going to save the motorcycle industry for Harley Davidson by themselves, they have definitely laid the groundwork for the future. Go ahead and comment down below what you think. Do you think that this kind of technology can be utilized into bigger platforms? I mean, who's to say that it has to be a 1250cc? Maybe they figure out a way to develop a 1450, a 1650 liquid cooled V-twin that goes like we all want it to be. But go ahead and drop your comments below. I'd be glad to hear what you have to say. I am open to a discussion. I'm sure I am wrong 100% of this, but hey, that's why I make videos. So with that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next dark side, as this is the way. Ciao for seeing you in the next one. Later.